afternoon, happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome to our live coverage of the biggest day in the Leinster Rugby Schools calendar. It's the Senior Cup decider as Gonzaga College, who incredibly played their first ever Senior Cup final, take on St. Michael's College, who are back in the final for the first time in 6 years, all here at the RDS. The atmosphere and excitement is building in Dublin 4 as we approach kick-off, which is just under 10 minutes away. Well, James, great to have you with us here today. The atmosphere is building, and if you're a Senior Cup player, this is the pinnacle for you, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. You know, you can, as you said, the atmosphere is really building. The noise is there, starting to get deafening. But yeah, these guys have trained so hard since last summer, and this is the pinnacle. This is it. This is the big day, big 70 minutes ahead, and everyone's excited for it.
It's hard to believe it's Gonzaga's first ever final, but have you been impressed with them in the build-up to this game?
Oh, certainly. When you see how they played against Terranure and Clongowes, that comeback as well, especially to show that self-belief, this team certainly are one to be watching out for today. And as you say, it's their first final, which is crazy, but there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
In a moment we'll be hearing from the Gonzaga camp, but first let's have a look at their lineup.
A historic day for Gonzaga College, a first ever Senior Cup final. What has the atmosphere been like in the school this week?
Well, among the students at large, it's just been fantastic. This is an enormous thrill for the school, for the teachers, for the parents, but for the players themselves, it's just any other week of the rugby season with any luck.
And how much would a win today mean to the school, and how proud are you of this group of players?
Look, we're proud of this group of players. Whatever happens today, we've been proud of them since we started off in the league 6 months ago. But of course, we would certainly take a win today. The school would really love that.
And what do you think the final message to these guys when they go out on the field will be today?
Just go out, be yourself, be the best version of yourself, enjoy it, and remember you're playing rugby with your mates, so what can be wrong with that?
James, St. Michael's have had a tough route to this final, having to beat Blackrock and Belvedere. Do you think they're worthy of their favourites tag?
Absolutely. I think, like you mentioned, two of the big schools there that they've had to come across, and with the disappointment of last year and how they lost to Belvedere, I think that'll be certainly pushing them on today. They're a physically strong side, and they're favourites for a reason, having taken down two of those big schools.
We're going to hear from Coach Emma McMahon in a moment. First of all, let's have a look at their side.
Leinster Senior Cup final, it's what you've worked towards all year long. How have the preparations been since the semi-final?
Preparation's been good, yeah. We had a little bit more time than we did after the Rock game into the Belvo one, so which is important, just to give the lads a bit of a rest, get away from the game for a couple of days. But really good preparation. It seems to be a great day today, so we're really looking forward to a great occasion. But at the end of the day, it's a game of rugby, and that's what we've been reiterating to the lads all week. That's something we've been very good at so far. We just got to make sure we stay in the moment and really enjoy the day, and just make sure we bring a good attitude into the game once we get it going.
And as you say, you've been very good so far, defeating both of last year's finalists on your route to this year's final. What have you learned about your side from those games?
Yeah, three very different games we've played. So we had a good win at the start, obviously, and then we controlled the Blackrock game very well, and then we had to come from behind, which was great because it's never going to be easy to get to a final, and we knew that. So we were delighted with the performance in all the games so far for different reasons. We're going to try and bring a little bit of everything from those games and just make sure we maybe just, we were a good bit behind in the first half the last day, which means we can, if we need to, come from behind, but ultimately probably just start a little bit better and then take it from there.
It's difficult to believe that this is Gonzaga's first ever Senior Cup final when you look at the quality of rugby that they have displayed so far in this campaign. Coach Declan Fassbender has kept faith with the same 15 that dispensed with Clongowes Wood in their semi-final and given them the opportunity to win their first ever title. In the backs, both Jack Connolly and Harry Colbert have showed maturity beyond their years in the earlier games, but this is very much an all-round quality backline, with Frank O'Grady and Carl Morgan offering stability and an exciting attacking back three of Barron, O'Hoshin and Hennessy. In the forwards, number 8 Jack Barry captains the side. The second row combination of Jack Cooligan and Liam Tyrrell provide excellent line-out options, and one of the most athletic front rows in the competition of Shaw, Fitzgerald and Henry Godson will try to continue their excellent turnover work at breakdown, almost acting like an extra set of back rows. Incidentally, Henry Godson scored a hat-trick in the semi-final. St Michael's also come into this game unchanged from the side that beat Belvedere by a point in a thriller in Energia Park. In the backs, once again, the hugely talented pairing of Robert Gilson and Niall Carroll form the 9-10 combination. And in the centre, they will look to the elusive running style of Chris Cosgrave to try to unlock this solid Gonzaga defence, while Andrew Smith takes up the full-back position. Forwards, captain Mark Hernan is in the running for the player of the tournament with his performances so far, and he leads a pack which will look to the likes of Lee Barron, John Fish and Jack Geenan to pave the way. I'd like to say I'm joined in the commentary position today by former Irish international James Downey. James, the atmosphere is incredible here today. Both teams really getting into the mood, and on St Patrick's Day you couldn't be in a better place.
No, absolutely, Reggie. You can see the green as well. It seems to be suiting Gonzaga's effort they put in today, and the Michaels boys in full voice. But look, it's going to be a great occasion for both teams, and look, hopefully we'll have a cracking game in store.
Well, I believe Gonzaga had all sorts of hoardings manufactured before this, and we're planning on putting them all around the pitch, but I think one or two of the advertisers might have had something to say about that. But there is no shortage of colour and flags and banners and promotional stuff for Gonzaga, and indeed the blue of St Michael's fits in nicely here in the RDS as well. We spoke earlier about the quality of rugby so far that we've seen in this campaign. It's been pretty outstanding.
Yeah, look, the skill level you have of these young players who are only, like, you know, they're only under 18s, and some of these, a lot of the Michaels boys are actually in 5th year. So look, as I say, that skill level that they're able to produce at such a high level, it's so demanding under the pressures as well of the Leinster Cup, and look, it's just it's a big day, and hopefully they can produce again.
No doubt they will. And as we mentioned, supporters, plenty of neutrals here as well. Looking forward to the occasion that there's going to be today. In over 70 years, Gonzaga's first ever appearance in this final. They're underdogs coming into this, but with the quality that they produced, and in particular in that semi-final against Clongowes, the way that they were able to manage the situation and didn't seem to panic in any way, James. You know, allowed the game to unfold and then trusted their fitness to get them there in the end.
I think you've hit the nail on the head of that one when you talk about they didn't panic, and they backed their fitness, they backed their ability. As you mentioned, that the front row are like a set of back rowers again. They have those fitness levels to go right into those last championship minutes, those last game-winning minutes, and they've shown them in the last couple of games.
St Michael's captain Mark Hernan leading his team out past the famous trophy that is the Leinster Schools Cup. Some nervous faces amongst that group of 15. Gonzaga join them now, led by their captain Jack Barry, and being welcomed by a tremendous roar from both sets of supporters as the teams get together for the final huddle in front of their fans. Your referee for today is Brian McNeese, experienced referee, and he'll be assisted by touch judges Andrew Cole and Paul Haycock for this Bank of Ireland Leinster Senior Schools Cup final.
Good to go, okay.
Well, the formalities are over with. Both teams are ready.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
All the pre-match nerves
Literally okay on that side?
have now abated, and both teams keen
Okay.
to get into each other.
Just make sure you stay on side. Don't cross the line. Keep them on side. Blue, ready?
Jack Connolly for Gonzaga, taking the responsibility, and he gets us underway. Well taken by Will Hickey of St. Michael's.
It's good. Use it, Blue.
Robert Gilson organising his cover as he puts that big box kick up, which is well taken by Conor Hennessy at full back. Good step from him.
Away 12. 10 out.
Got the best pass there from Harry Colbert. Oh, big tackle coming in there from the captain, Mark Hernan, to stop that attack for Gonzaga. And already the St. Michael's defence showing what it's made of. Here comes the hat-trick hero from the semi-final, Henry Godson, trying to make some ground, but he's met well and driven backwards.
Move, one.
Jack Connolly looking to set up a box kick and maybe relieve some of the pressure. There is a strong wind
Use it.
here today that Gonzaga are playing into, and that will affect this ball. It's holding it up in the air. John Fish goes up
Goes
well
forward by
and
Blue
collects
5.
that one. But there was a nudge forward. Referee McNeese spotting that one. And James, both teams just testing each other out at this stage.
Yeah, and you can see Michael's certainly got set up nice and early, box
First
kick
scrum,
straight
remember?
up, just putting the pressure
Square
on
shoulders, long
the
lines,
Gonzaga
steady
back three.
post set,
Look,
both
it's a
teams.
nice early
Yeah.
tester. They're going to be playing into the wind. They're going to have to hold ball playing into it this half.
He's
And
on
Michael's
the
are trying to
right
squeeze
side,
them.
okay?
If Gonzaga can just keep it within those tight areas and keep the simple things, no errors down here, it'll certainly make for an interesting half.
Bind. Set.
The first scrum of this 2019 final. Ball in by Connolly.
9
Taken
moves.
forward now by Morgan. Harry Colbert puts a kick in behind. That's a great kick from the Gonzaga out half. Finds space in behind the Michaels cover. And into that wind. That wasn't an easy kick to take off.
Are you at the front?
No, and that wind's quite strong out there, but it goes to show Gonzaga have had a lot of ball now in the first couple of minutes, and
straight on you.
it's just going to really promote that
2 meters
confidence
here.
there.
Yeah,
But
2
to
meters
have a
here.
left-footed 10 and Colbert, great kick into that to put the pressure on Michaels.
Are you in or out?
First line out here for hooker Lee Barron, who's been so impressive all the way through this campaign so far. This wind will affect the throw a bit, so they'll probably go to the front, and they do indeed find John Fish, who takes it comfortably there.
That's fine. Still the
They
same
set
ball.
that drive up. Big drive coming from St. Michael's.
It's detached now. It's detached.
Referee
No, out.
telling Gonzaga to get back on side. They've made 20 metres already from that line out.
1 away. Go. Good.
Michael's
Still
quite
moving.
happy to keep it tight and win themselves a penalty.
5.
Jack Cooligan having to bring that one down to stem the flow from St. Michael's, and that's a pretty solid indication of the way St. Michael's are intending to play this game, James.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you see it's the first time they've had a bit of possession, and it shows their intent. Take them on up front, really get into that Gonzaga pack, and to drive them back 15-20 metres is certainly going to be a boost for the confidence.
Chris Cosgrave takes the kick. Michael's rely on him a lot
On your line to get them straight
for
on
the
you.
kicks to touch, and indeed towards the post. Very exciting young centre. Looking to get some ball in some space. They go towards the back. It's a good throw again. Well taken by Michaels. Will Hickey goes forward, drops the shoulder.
6 out of the
Tackled
way.
well though. Ball back inside from Gillan. Wasn't the best of passes.
Sorry. My fault.
You just see it here again as they try to come back around, trying to just use that inside pass, and in fact it was referee McNeese getting in the way on that occasion. Michael still with the initiative though. They'll have the scrum.
Okay, marker.
Inside Gonzaga territory on the right hand side of the pitch, lining up on the left. Andrew Smith on the blind side, looking for his opportunity as well.
Reset on the mark.
Scrappy. Both teams just feeling each other out a little bit in these scrum areas. I've been impressed so far in the campaign with how the Gonzaga front row have contended with bigger opposition packs so far in this campaign.
Yeah, they certainly have been impressive against some of the those Clongowes lads that they were up against in the last round. Really put them under pressure, but they stuck to what they were good at, you know. And they are that mobile pack, so if they can get some parity up front, it'll really stand to them.
Gilson now with the put in, ball at the base. Hickey takes, gives it to Gilson, quick ball. They come out towards Smith. Still making ground. Gonzaga trying to defend this. It's taken forward by John Fish. Big hit from the second row. And Carroll gets the ball back outside. Oh, it's a great step back inside from Barron. Ball's available for Gilson. Plenty of players down that left-hand channel. Big take from Fionn Finlay. He makes another 2 meters. Still going forward, St. Michael's. Gonzaga desperately trying to organise that defence. Gilson organising his troops. He wants his forwards to take it again. Shouts at Hickey and Woods to take that one forward. They do just that, make another meter. Set up again. Finlay stands out. He comes in to assist with the drive. Fish standing there to come in and help Stephen Woods with the drive forward. Gonzaga desperately trying to defend their line here. Ball's available again. Jack Boyle is looking to have a snike. He picks and goes. Boyle, and he reaches. The loose head prop spotted the opportunity. Used his power to hit through the first tackle, and then great skill from him to reach and dot that one over the whitewash.
Yeah, certainly. Look, that patience that they showed when they got into that 5 meter channel. As you mentioned, Woods and Fish carrying, getting the extra latch on. And Jack Boyle, who's carried so well in the past couple of rounds as well. He's a tough man to stop, and he gets so low and over the top and has the wherewithal to touch it down.
And conversion. No mistake there from Cosgrave. He adds the 2 points. And on that occasion, it was Harry Colbert who was trying to make the tackle on the loose head prop, and Gonzaga really need to get their defence organised. They can't afford to have their out half trying to tackle the loose head when they're that close to the line.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have to look for a reaction there from Gonzaga, because, look, they've started it off all right, but you've seen Michaels grow and have a lot more possession, and we're going to have to see how they can defend and react to this now.
Conley gets us underway. Hickey takes it forward. He's met well with a good tackle.
Use it, Blue.
Gilson goes to the box kick again. Hennessy's underneath it, takes it well, looks to take a step, finds some space, presents the ball well. It's there for Connolly. He uses Cooligan, makes another 2 meters. Now Gonzaga's chance to shine and show what they can do, try and find a way through that Michaels defence. Taken forward by Tyrrell. He slips a little bit, the vice captain, going forward there. It's a good pick and go through the middle from the captain, Jack Barry. Just scragged in the tackle. Tyrrell again with the pick and drive through the middle. Good tactics this from Gonzaga into that wind.
Push back foot.
Michaels now realign their defence.
That's good.
Referee McNeese making sure they're onside. Connolly now gives it to Colbert, who dinks one over the top. It's a bounce just beating. And who's there to tidy it up? Pressure on now. Got to get this one right. Connolly. He's tackled there by Kelly.
No.
Gonzaga desperately trying to get back and help out their scrum half.
Back foot, Blue. There you go.
They've done well to recover that one. Pressure was on. Cullen takes it forward another meter. Jack Barry, the captain, comes in, takes responsibility.
Use it, Green.
Jack Conley now looking to get ready for a box kick. He's talking to his forwards.
No,
Give him that
use
extra
it,
half meter for space. Puts it up and finds touch just shy of the 22. And again, we're seeing wind playing a factor in this, and the kicks being used by Michaels to put pressure back on Gonzaga there, James.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to actually when Gonzaga had the ball, they're playing perfectly into that wind by holding on to the ball, and then you're seeing that they're actually chipping it in, they're giving away that possession, and they need to actually look after it playing into this wind, and as you see, one turnover, one kick, and they're back defending.
Bad throw this time from Lee Barron. It goes over the top. It's tidied up well by Jack Conley. Now Gonzaga again look to find a way through from Carl Morgan taking it forward. Conley gets it to Colbert. Using
Tackler Blue away.
runners outside
That's
him.
good, out you go.
Again, they go through the middle with the captain, Jack Barry.
Don't touch it, Blue.
Michaels stumbling through on top of that, making it difficult. Colin Kirby O'Brien comes into the game with the scrum cap to make an impression. Connolly again setting himself up, just trying to get themselves out of this territory. But again, the wind holding that one up in the air. Who's going to claim it? Seemed to go backwards.
Been knocked forward by
No.
Green.
It was in fact touched forward by Tom Cullen, it seemed. And again, that tactic of trying to get away from their own line by using the box kick, we see it here again. Just
Yeah, so far so good, yeah.
seemed to come forward from the Gonzaga hand. It was a bit of a lottery, really. Could have gone anywhere, but that wind playing havoc with those box kicks and holding it up in the air.
That offside line's very good so far, yeah, keep it there.
There's the try scorer, Jack Boyle. So we get another look at it here.
Pillar defensive lines are
Patience
excellent at the moment.
from the
Let's
loose
keep them
head,
there,
looks
yeah.
up,
Very
sees
good
his
so
gap,
far.
realizes he's up against a 10, uses his strength, and then reaches
That one was fine,
out
yeah.
over the top of all the defending bodies and dots it down for a great opening try for St. Michael's.
Time on, Brian. This is a mark.
Well, the
here,
Michael's
folks.
fans are happy. And why wouldn't they be? Their side lead 7 points to 0. Still a long way to go in this game.
Crouch!
Gonzaga have had some possession,
Bind!
but into this wind, it's very difficult
Set!
to play out from their own half. They'll be hoping to keep this scoreline as close as
push
possible
Green.
till they get to half-time and get that advantage in the second half. That scrum turns.
That's just
Referee
gone 45.
will have to reset that one once it's gone through the mark. And they'll have to do it all over again. And how much of a fact do you think that's going to be, James, the second half wind and the importance of keeping the scoreline close at this stage?
Yeah, I think if you look at how Gonzaga have gone, if they can actually keep it within 1 or 2 scores going in there, the longer they're in it, the closer in it, the more confident they'll get.
Okay.
And again, with this wind, it's going to be at least a 10-point wind, I think, if not more. And they just need to be a little more astute and clever with how they look after the ball and how they exit from their own 22.
Well, the scrums have been solid so far for both teams. There we get a look at the captain, Jack Barry, as he
Set!
launches the rest of his forwards into that scrum.
Green!
Gonzaga again trying to apply pressure there. Wilson gets it out. Cosgrave, little pass back around on the loop play. Great drive there. Coming in with Kelly. Hickey now takes it forward. Tackled by his opposite number, Jack Barry. Carroll, ball back inside, looks to go. Keeps it himself.
No, didn't survive.
Clear out now from Michaels. Eddie Kelly comes in to act as scrum half.
4 Green away!
It's good defence from Gonzaga. They're in on that ball. Told to release though. A try scorer, Jack Boyle, takes it on again. Carroll gets it out to the danger man Cosgrave, but he's shut down early by Frank O'Grady. Still Michaels have it though, and that pass from Hickey to Gannan, a little bit risky, and that's a turnover, and now Gonzaga will look to go.
Touched by Blue!
Colbert not hanging around, he wants it out of there, puts boot to ball, doesn't quite find touch though, falls into the tackle. And they'll have to do it again, Michaels. But they have possession. Carroll tries a little grubber. Dealt with well by Hennessy. Awkward one for him to go down and sort out, but the fullback reacted well. Juggled a little bit by Barry, but managed to control it again. Connolly gives it on. Good strong run by Jack Coolican. Big hits coming in. Colin Kirby O'Brien makes another meter. Sun coming out again. On that side of the pitch we can see the shadows as Gonzaga make their way through hard yards, trying to work their way up the pitch. Colbert now brings in his centre, Frank O'Grady. Again, the defence standing firm. Great covering tackle from Eddie Kelly. Gonzaga still have it though. And
on the ground first.
Referee says that this time Jack Boyle, the loose head, coming in illegally.
Time off injury.
On that ball.
Time off, Brian.
And Gonzaga win themselves a penalty. Fair result for all that hard work, James.
Yeah, completely, and that's much better from the Gonzaga side. Holding on to possession, making Michaels make the tackles, and that's what they need to do playing with that wind. Is making sure that they don't run out of numbers though at the breakdowns, because as we know, Mark Kernan's been a thorn in a lot of team sides that they played against, so they're going to have to make sure that their rucking and numbers are right there. I think as well you can just see how physically imposing some of the Michaels boys are. When they do go forward, from a Gonzaga point of view, if they can put them down nice early and stop that momentum that Michaels have got, but great reaction from the Gonzaga attack and back line.
Yeah. Shoulder injury there. Second row, John Fish.
Hands on the ground. Number one.
Don't want to lose him. Jack Connolly makes 15 metres into that win. And now Gonzaga.
Just make sure tackles are borderline, yeah? Just make sure.
Their first lineup. Hugo Fitzgerald. The hooker gets the instructions from Ronan Shaw, his tight head.
Line is yours.
As I said, very athletic front row. Gonzaga have. They almost act like a back row, the way that they can poach around the breakdown. It's a good line out. Short ball from Colbert to Jack Barry. Tackle is good though. Ball's available again. Coolican tries to find some space. He's shut down early. Little step from Colbert. Presents the ball well. Connolly now. Gets it outside to O'Grady.
Off his feet now. Let it go, Blue.
All the time, Gonzaga just making half a metre. Good run there from Ronan Shaw, the tight head. Keeps that forward momentum going. In comes Conor Hennessy with a good step. Connolly goes back to the forwards. Again, it's Jack Coolican. And use that blind side.
11 Blue. That's good.
Oh, and a mistake there. Ronan Shaw, the tight head, after all the good work he had done just moments ago, took his eye off the ball at the last minute to see where the space might be. A disappointment for him, but encouragement from Hugo Fitzgerald. And again, very solid play from Gonzaga, working their way into that Michaels territory.
Yeah, exactly. From the line out, the simple plays, and the pick and go seems to be causing a bit of concern for the Michaels team. If they stick to what they're doing, look at Jack Coolican, as you mentioned, Liam Tyrrell. Again, these players just coming around the corner, getting the simple carries, simple yards, making the Michaels boys tire with tackling.
See that good run again there from Ronan Shaw as he made those 2 metres, and as you said, it seems to be working well for them, and I suppose Michaels will be thinking to themselves, 20 minutes almost gone in this game, we have 7 points, but we know we're facing into this win in the second half. Perhaps we need to get a few more scores on the board.
Yeah, look, I don't think they'll be too concerned as of yet, but I just think that if they can just put the pressure back in Gonzaga, get out of their own half. Just because you have the wins, not necessarily a guarantee, but it's been impressive, a much better reaction from the Gonzaga side.
Set.
Scrum down in the sunlight on the far side of the RDS. Gilsonen gets it out to Carroll, who doesn't waste any time in putting boot to ball. And that one is a huge kick from Carroll. And Fergus, or Hoshin, deals with that one. But again, it's advantage Michaels, and it brings play to just inside the 22 with a Michaels put in.
Yeah, Reggie, you'd be happy with that, getting up from the scrum and seeing your 10 just pinning you down and putting the pressure back on Gonzaga in their own 22. So it's a perfect execution from Niall Carroll there.
I would indeed be happy, especially when we get the line out on the 22. Got it executed though. They go to the back. It's a big one this time. The throw is good. Colin Kirby O'Brien takes it forward in the form of Jack Barry there, the captain. Around comes Godson.
Green 6 away.
Again, Michaels using the big forwards to tie in that Gonzaga defence. Hickey makes another meter. Oh, big drive there again from Jack Boyle. Drops the shoulder, breaks through that first tackle, but it seems it may have been turned over. Good work again at the breakdown by Gonzaga. It's a great turnover. Connolly using that great ball back inside from him to Henry Colbert. Harry Colbert's gone. Can someone catch him down? In comes the tackle from Andrew Smith of St. Michael's, but it's quick ball available again. Gonzaga will look to go right and move it, but the pass wasn't the best. Colin Kirby O'Brien just held on to by the ankles. Again, big drive comes through from Ronan Shaw, the tight head prop. Going forward, O'Brien.
13, back foot.
Screaming Connolly for support and forwards to come around. He's knocked out of his hands by the Michaels players. Play on, says the referee though. Pass picked up well from the ground by Hugo Fitzgerald. There's an injury.
7 blew away.
To Godson
2 over feet.
of Gonzaga in the midfield area. So temporarily Gonzaga down to 14 players as Ronan Shaw takes that one forward again.
Keep going, keep going.
Trip through, oh, just doesn't go to hand. Carl Morgan so close to reclaiming that ball, but Gilsonen gets it, goes back to the boot and puts in a fantastic kick from Robert Gilsonen, measured it perfectly, and it bounces just on the 22 and goes into play.
Time off.
That was a frantic enough effort there to see Gonzaga getting able to make that turnover. And here we can see it here now. Great pressure on your own line, great turnover, but to have that calmness and subtly just to relax, not under pressure, can't put yourself under pressure there. Great little step from Colbert and away he goes and makes a break. Great friend. And you're looking on here, maybe there's a bit of space in the backfield if he wants to put it through, holds on to the ball. As we say, they needed to do that earlier on, and as we've got an injury there, that's when we can see the shoulder injury go down there. But look, it's when they do lose that ball, when they do turn it over, that one little kick and they're back in their own 22, but they just have to be patient and hold on to the ball.
Yeah, second row, Jack Coolican is getting attention on that shoulder.
Okay,
and it was in fact
good at the breakdown,
Harry Colbert who came in and just managed to scrag Robert Gilsonen as he was trying to get that pass away on their own line and forced the turnover from that, and then got himself into a good attacking position at 10. Ball was given to him, and he found a good step and made good ground. Hugo Fitzgerald now gets to throw, as we see Jack Coolican coming back into that line out, seems to have recovered from that shoulder knock. Important line out here for Gonzaga. Well taken by Tom Cullen. Pressure comes in from Michaels as they try to pin Gonzaga back down in their own half.
6 out.
Forward goes Barry. The ball back inside.
No, it's okay, we're all right.
To Coolican. Barry again thinks about going, leaves it this time.
Blue 10 out of there. Back foot.
And it's good play from Gonzaga. They're not panicking. As Harry Colbert puts boot to ball. They need to cover this one though. Wasn't the best kick. And now Kelly finds some space. Great covering tackle coming in from full back Conor Hennessy.
Backwards.
Quick hands there. Will Hickey has it now for Michaels. Decides to go into contact, set it all up again. As Gilson gets it outside to his captain Mark Hernan. Back to the forwards, back to route one, back to that man Jack Boyle, who keeps going. Great work from Boyle, offloads it to Will Hickey. Hickey tries the handoff, he's covered well though.
Hands away, Green.
Again, desperation as Gonzaga tried to cover that defensive line. Ball's available, quick hands, Hernan, out to Cosgrave. Gets it out to O'Brien on that left wing.
Hands away, 4.
Just short again. And the forwards line up on the right-hand side for Michaels. Defence comes in from Gonzaga, they hit low. Michaels make another half a metre. Hernan calls for support, talking to his forwards. Fish comes in with the big shoulder. It's there again.
Stay on the back foot now.
Tries scorer Boyle, looking to get his hands on it. Can he make it again? This time the defence stands firm. Ball available, Hernan with Fish alongside him. They go low and they're met low. Lee Barron, has he made it? Referee Ryan McNeice right there on the spot. And from nothing, Michaels manufacture another great score.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's Jack Boyle again. We were talking about him earlier on about his ball carrying. Sits him down, keeps the leg pumping, but has the wherewithal to offload. And again, it's another one of their big ball carriers, Will Hickey, who's done an awful lot of damage. I thought that Gonzaga actually regrouped extremely well. Michaels, when they get into that 5 metres away, 2 or 3 metres away, they're just so clinical. It's patience there, and just the pick and goes, and eventually just going to run out of numbers. It's a great finish.
That's Boyle's ability to get back up again. He made that initial drive, he gets back up again, drops low and drops on the inside of Ronan Shaw, finds a little gap there.
Or if there's
a brace
if there's
for
a serious
him.
injury or a long injury, we'll run out a long injury.
The Senior Schools
Whichever's
Cup,
next.
that's one he'll be talking for a long time to come.
Yes.
Oh, what a kick that is from Kiss. Cosgrave with that wind swirling all around him, kept his composure, kept his head down, and pinned it nicely between the posts. And Gonzaga, having done so much good work and defended for so long, are again faced with a restart and having to do it all over again. I suppose they'll really want now, James, to try and contain this to just a 14-point game as they go in at half-time.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed with what they've done up until those 22 minutes, you know, and I thought they'd done really well. They changed what they'd done initially. They were looking after the ball, but then just that one error, that one slip, like they really need to hold on to the ball. Just keep the pressure on Michaels, and eventually they'll get their chance second half.
An ugly kick would be how you describe that one from Connolly, but it's caused a little bit of difficulty for Michaels. Been dealt with in the end. And now Gilson sets himself up. Can't imagine he'll be hanging around here too long. Yeah, the boot goes to the ball again. Goes long over the head of Hennessy, but over the head of everybody, and all the way out over the hoarding at the end. So the referee, Ryan McNeice, who's having a little bit of difficulty with his technical equipment, brings us all the way back. He's lost his earpiece, but I think he's found it again now. A little bit of tape should sort that one out for him. Brings us all the way back to inside the 10-metre line of St. Michael's.
Time off again.
As the running repairs are carried out.
You can see that, Reggie, as well, from that, the advantage there sometimes when you have that win behind you, you expect it to do an awful lot for you, but sometimes you can overcook it, and that's they got away with it a couple of times earlier on the first half, and Gonzaga have to be wary of that in the second half as well. Just because you have that win, it's not necessarily a guarantee, and you just have to control yourself in it.
Yep. You can't rely on it, there's no doubt about it.
Set.
Big scrum here now for Gonzaga. Really desperate to try and find a way, but that one's gone around.
45.
And in schools rugby, it's an automatic reset when that happens.
Now,
so they'll get a chance to go again, but they'll be desperate to try and get some score on the board as we approach the last 10 minutes of this first half.
Driving straight.
To get some return for the possession that they've had and the effort that they've put in so far in this game.
Crouch. 5.
Great shot there of both front rows getting set for this. As Connolly puts the ball in, it's there. Jack Barry gets down and reclaims the ball just about, under a lot of pressure there. Godson now tries to pick and drive through the middle. He's met well by Lee Barron on that occasion. There again for Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Jack Connolly tried to find some way to get things moving again. He's taken forward there. Colin Kirby O'Brien in the scrum cut for Gonzaga. Big ball, trying to shift that area out a bit as Ronan Shaw moves it forward again. Tackles, good defence coming in from Will Hickey there of St. Michael's. Good ball, nice line, just caught around the ankles O'Grady on that occasion, but still ball available for Gonzaga. Good step back inside from Jack Coolican, keeping things alive. As Connolly tries to pop that ball on, but it's a penalty. It looked like it was going to be a knock on, but referee McNeese had given the penalty for Michaels coming in and sealing off that ball illegally. I'm going to look at that again as Coolican came in. You can just see there, it's the captain, in fact, Mark Hernan, who comes in and tries to dive straight over onto that ball. He's got to try and support his body weight as he comes in there and poach that ball. Can't just throw and dive himself in there on top of it to slow the ball down.
Yeah, and I think you can look at what they're doing there, the Gonzaga guys, when they're holding on to it. Coolihan making the hard yards again. He's put in a serious shift in this first half because it's going to take an awful lot out of you going into that wind. And Frank O'Grady, you've mentioned earlier too. He's another one who's nearly got breakthrough, just a last-ditch tackle there as well. And look, if Gonzaga can do this, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do here. You'd expect them to keep the pressure on and put the ball into the corner here.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, they are going to go to the corner. Can't imagine into that wind that they'll.
Option.
He went right for the corner, but I think he went too far, and he's kicked it out on the full.
22. And
that's an error. Uncharacteristic error from Connolly. Tried to drill it into the corner, and sort of snapped at it a little bit. Kicked it right out. Hands the initiative right back to Michaels, who'll get this 22 restart. And Carroll this time takes responsibility, goes long, and again you can see the effect the wind is having on that. As Gonzaga now take it forward from Fergus O'Hoshin. Once again Gonzaga have to do it all again. Colin Kirby O'Brien drops the head, goes forward, makes some ground. Again, Coolican involved. They're doing well with this, Gonzaga. Making ground every time they do it. Jack Barry this time. Aaron Colbert trying to find some ways. He steps left and steps right, but is tackled well.
Tackle around the neck. 8.
But it was high on this occasion from Will Hickey as he came in on the Gonzaga out half. And Connolly will be keen to make sure he doesn't make an error on this one, and he doesn't. You see it here again. Albert just coming in. Wasn't a whole lot in it. I mean, it certainly wasn't a cynical tackle in any way. I think it was more that Harry Colbert almost dropped down as he came in, and Will Hickey a little bit unfortunate with that one. Gonzaga now through Hugo Fitzgerald at the line-out.
Hold.
Get it to O'Brien. Oh, there's a gap there. It's well taken by Connolly. He spotted it straight away. Great run from the scrum half. He needs support. Ball is there. Gonzaga back outside. O'Brien steps. Godson is there to support him. Hickey's off his feet, it looked like, but taken forward now by Hugo Fitzgerald. Great work here from Gonzaga. They move it out to that right-hand side. Grady steps back again. Connolly now. Goes back to his forwards. In goes Coolican. Along comes the support, but he's lost that one forward. As he hit the ground. And he slaps the ground in frustration. Jack Coolican, after all that good work from Gonzaga, just knocked it on as he hit the ground.
It's a great line-out ball, isn't it? You can see the danger of Jack Connolly from the other rounds. Little drift off the back of line-out, spots it, gets through. It's here where Gonzaga just need that extra little bit of patience. They've made the break, they've gotten in behind Michaels. Michaels in a bit of a scramble, and if they can just be a little bit more patient, do what they're doing earlier on, you know. You can see that Hugo Fitzgerald steps up there and makes a carry, and they're just going that little bit wider than what they've been doing beforehand. And it's a little bit frustrating for them at this stage, because when they do have it, when they do hold on the ball, they're actually causing Michaels an awful lot of problems.
Okay, let's go.
See what it means to St. Michael's. Niall Carroll there punching the air after that turnover. So crucial to them that they defend this line in this first half with the wind at their back. Don't want to offer Gonzaga any semblance of hope.
Okay. Crouch. Bind. Set.
I can imagine Michaels will be hanging around here as Gilson puts this one into the scrum. It's at the feet of Hickey. Straight back. They've taken it forward, using Mark O'Brien to come in there and try and make some more ground. Really good exit strategy from them, trying to create more space for the kick. Both Cosgrave, Gilson and Carroll are capable of making that kick. It's Gilson on this occasion who puts the pressure back down on Gonzaga. Colbert now tries to find a gap through there. Hennessy with some good footwork again. The clear outs there. Michaels again interfering on the ground. It was very clear. Mark Hernan, the captain, the one again, giving away that penalty. In fact, it may well have been O'Kelly on this occasion. This one, no mistakes. And Jack Connolly makes sure of it, and you see there, little step back inside. Good work there by the fullback, Hennessy. It was indeed O'Kelly just lying and making a nuisance of himself in around that breakdown area. And Gonzaga now, with 3 minutes left in this first half and a line-out opportunity inside the 22, will want to execute this one well.
2 meters, 2 meters.
O'Brien may well be the target. They go to the captain, Jack Barry, instead. It's a scrappy one, though. Have to tidy it up. O'Brien. Connolly. O'Brien back involved again. Tackled well by Jack Inan. Hodson. Big drive from the loose head from Gonzaga. Scrag tackle there from Hickey. Takes him down. Again, the clear out comes. Coolican looking for support, looks left, pick and drive is on, presents the ball well. O'Brien with the quick pick and drive. Again, the defence stands firm. Jack Barry leaves it there, picks and goes on the right. Gonzaga organising their backs on that right-hand side, trying to pick and drive, drag in those Michaels defenders and create some space. Left and right they go. Another pick and drive there from Fitzgerald, makes another 2 meters.
Advantage 4, offside.
On goes Coolican again, tirelessly. Godson supporting it. Little kick through, it's half blocked down. But offside from St. Michael's, and an opportunity here, right in front of posts. for Gonzaga to maybe get their first points on the board.
Scrum.
They're going for a scrum.
You've got to get to the back foot.
And that's a big decision, James.
Yeah, it's an interesting call there, but look, you got to back the players out in the field and to make those decisions. But again, it's they've got to stick to what's working. It's the pick and goes. It's like your Henry Godson's round the rucks, who's able to make the reads and scoop it up and get in behind this Michaels defence. And it's been working for them. And I've said it before, but they just need to keep on doing that. Keep on doing the simple plays to put Michaels under pressure. Make Michaels' boys make these tackles, and hopefully they can get away with what they deserve, a couple of points.
Set.
Real intent. They're backing their scrum to hold solid here. The put in from Connolly. It's scrappy though. He tidies it up. Carroll. Oh, it's a great step back from Morgan.
7 off your feet.
Scramble defence comes in from Michaels. It looks like Hernan's on his feet with that one. Gonzaga have it. Connolly gets it to Coolican, who's still going. Godson, the semi-final hat-trick hero, tries to find ground, but he's not able to get through on this occasion. Defence stands firm. On they go again, Gonzaga, hammering that Michaels line. Pick and drive after pick and drive.
Stay on the back foot, that's good there.
Michaels desperately defending. On they go again. It's the captain, Barry, who's held up just inches from the line. It's there. Colbert is on the outside waiting. There's a pick and jam towards that post. The referee is right there. McNeesy's looking for it. Ball is unsighted at the moment.
Hands out, Blue.
Tom Cullen is lined up on the right-hand side. He's looking for the ball. There it is. Leave it now, says the ref. It's available. A little flick out towards Shaw. He's met well and driven backwards. There's an injury to one of the Gonzaga players, which isn't helping. Now it goes out to Colbert. He steps back inside. He's held up.
Let it go, Blue. Good.
Somehow Gonzaga got that one back. It looked like they'd turn it over. Coolican reaches.
Short.
He's short.
Still short. Hands up, Blue. Let
You
go
can see
on
the
your
body
feet.
of Lee Barron coming in and blocking that one for St. Michael's. Connolly now says, leave it with the forwards. It's a reach from Coolican, and he's there. The second row picks and manages to get that huge frame as his down close to the ground and reaches for the line. Referee Brian McNeese right there to see it being placed and award that try, and just before half-time, what a score that is for Gonzaga, James.
Yeah, what a score. Just deserved as well for them. You know, all the hard work, all their endeavour and patience in that 22, in that last couple of metres. A couple of times I thought they were under pressure and the referee gave them the benefit of the doubt, but what a player so far we've seen from Jack Houlihan, an exact guy you'd want to step up in the last closing minutes. As I said, exactly what they deserve right at the end of this half.
And their bravery not to go for that three-point penalty, which maybe a lot of teams would have, paying off in the end. Rewarded with a try. And unfortunately, we'll just hold this kick for a moment as we see loose head prop Henry Godson receiving attention to the right of the post. It looks pretty serious.
I'll follow it in, fellas. The sun's in your eyes there.
Okay, they're going to continue on with it. It's Connolly takes it, but that wind playing havoc, as we said. But Gonzaga will be very happy with that at half-time. 2 tries from Jack Boyle for St. Michael's in the first half, converted by Chris Cosgrave, gave them their lead with a response from Coolican, and it's 14-5 to St. Michael's at half-time.
And don't forget, Bank of Ireland are giving away a fantastic prize to one lucky person.
2-minute section.
Residential at €299. Over 4,000 kids have attended back home Leinster Rugby camps, so it's been a great run around with kids, and I'm looking at close to Leinster's future stars as a kid.
A reminder of some of the great action you can watch for free this week in the Republic of Ireland and the UK on Free Sports. Tonight from 7 there is NASCAR Live from Auto Club Speedway. On Wednesday night, Aaron Murphy and Paula Day are back with some Elite League ice hockey. The Glasgow Clan take on Cardiff Devils in that one. And our coverage of the Champions Cup pool continues on Thursday, again at 7 p.m. on Free Sports. And what an interesting first half that was. 2 tries from loose head prop Jack Boyle gave the advantage initially to St. Michael's. Great work from the Michael's loose head, taking on drive after drive and somehow managing to find a way through that gap. And at a time when you thought maybe, just maybe, Michaels might be getting away, Gonzaga came right back into it and refused to lie down. And a fantastic piece of skill from the tireless second row, Jack Coolican, getting Gonzaga right back into this game. And James, that try from Gonzaga was so important and so crucial given the turnaround and the win factor of the second half.
Yeah, I think you look at the couple of Michaels scores and you thought that Michaels might have got a bit of momentum from that and nearly run away with it and got a couple more scores and they were gone. But great endeavour, great patience from the Gonzaga side to look after the ball, to get back into the game, be it the pick and goes, be it the small little things. But as you can see, the opportunist try from Jack Hooligan certainly made it an interesting second half.
Okay, it's time for a quick break, but stay tuned and we'll be right back with the second half.
Don't forget about this fantastic prize we're giving away today.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Murph, can you hear me there? So when we come back from break, we should have at least 90 seconds before the kick-off at the start of the second half. No, it's fine. I have it on the phone. So I have Philip Lawler here with me for an interview. Check, there should be. I'll say the title in the question. How long on break?
The second half is coming up in a moment, but first, Colm is talking to Philip Lawler.
Philip Lawler, you're head of rugby development at Leinster Rugby. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, Leinster Rugby is made up of many different parts. We've got the player development programs, we've got our coach educational programs, we've got our community rugby programs, volunteer development, referees. So as part of that, I suppose I oversee all of that within Leinster Rugby. Our coach education programs, we've got some really innovative programs currently at the moment. We've one going with St Mary's College, which in London. It's about developing our coaches to become creating a fun environment by playing games on an ongoing basis, so to develop players as they're playing. So the more players are playing, the better they enjoy it, the more then hopefully they will stay playing our game. So we've got our community rugby program. We're in 400 primary schools. We're in 120 secondary schools. I mean, the great thing today is we've got this great cup match final today between Gonzaga and St Michael's. But in our junior final, which is taking place next Wednesday, we've got Michael's and Blackrock. But we've also had CBS Nace, and we've had Gorey Community School. CBS Nace were in our quarter-final of our Junior Cup. That's been the first ever, so it's been fantastic. So there's a hell of a lot of work going on within Leinster Rugby to keep players playing and create the future stars like we've seen out here today.
Well, that's great. Go and enjoy the second half, Philip. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And he wasn't a bad number 8 in his day either. Now, Michaels through Niall Carroll will get the chance to start this second half, and I suppose the message at halftime, James, from the Gonzaga coaching staff, Fassbender and co, will be we're well in this game. We have a little bit of a wind advantage now, and just keep doing what we were doing at the end of that first half.
Yeah, and I think that they're well in this game, but now it's a different mindset for both sides. One team's playing into the wind again, and one team has it behind their back. So you got to change your style of play, and it'll be interesting to see how each team goes with their tactics.
Carl, and that wind already being a factor as it didn't go the 10 metre, but Colin Kirby, O'Brien happy to just, in fact it was Liam Tyrrell happy to go in there and take that on. An advantage straight away, Gonzaga, as they maintain possession from that restart. And they pick up where they left off at the end of that first half with Jack Barry taking it forward. Frank O'Grady now. Oh, mistake there from the tight head, Ronan Shaw, just overrunning the pass, mistiming his run on that occasion for the pass from Connolly. He gets a clap on the back from his scrum half to get that chin up.
Okay, one green.
And an injury now.
Yeah, that's why we played on.
And it's loose head prop. Henry Godson, and a very disappointing end to this cup final for him. He picked up that injury at the end of the first half, and it didn't look good then. They tried to get him right for the second, but straight away he's gone down, and he was the hat-trick hero of the semi-final, and devastating for him to go off in the final.
No, that's not mine. That's mine.
So disappointment for him, but Gonzaga will have to regroup quickly.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
So Luke Hammond comes on for Gonzaga in that loose head position. Michaels now with possession. Cosgrave, we haven't seen much of him so far in this game, hasn't had much chance to show his running skills. And well marshalled.
Green tackler out 6.
By the Gonzaga defence. Michaels now with a chance and a mistake, that time on the right wing.
Option.
Little knock on.
Scrum or line out.
Coming in.
Scrum. Scrum call.
Handing possession back to Gonzaga. And once again, they'll try to work from this set piece and find their way back down into Michael's territory. We'll see it
on
again.
This side. Fellas, he's on it on that side. Okay?
Just going to Eddie Kelly, but unable to control it on that occasion, juggling it a little bit and putting it into touch. So the knock-on is given instead of the line-out for that error from Eddie Kelly.
Bind.
Second scrum for the new loose head, Luke Hammond.
Is he? Okay, I've got somebody there looking at that too.
To get settled in.
All right. Yeah, you get long.
You'd expect, Reggie, here for Gonzaga to have a bit more of a kicking exit strategy, you know. If they can set up the play, they're putting themselves under pressure just because they have the wind behind them. They don't need to get too excited or play too much. Just play the ball down in Michael's territory, because as we saw, Michaels are going to have to play a lot more into this wind and hold on to the ball, and we expect to see the likes of Chris Cosgrave on the ball a lot more often.
Good pressure from Michaels in that scrum. But Gonzaga have it. Colbert puts it back inside to Carl Morgan, who tries to find a gap that isn't there. Looking forward now again by Gonzaga. Good defence coming in from Lee Barron, stopping that attack. And as you mentioned, they might go for territory here as Jack Connolly lines up that box kick, strikes it well. And this one will test Kelly. He deals well with it though. Oh, and just as I say that, he drops the ball for no reason at all, having made the difficult part of the catch in the first place.
No advantage from the first knock-on, second knock-on here.
And it was as if he'd done all the hard work and was just looking where to pass it, and just it wobbled out of his hand.
Yeah, so it's just one of those errors, really, isn't it? I think, look, he's done extremely well to take it in that wind, and just as he's winding it up to throw the pass, it just slips out of his hand. But we can see now that the start of the second half, the contrast in that wind from the box kicks we saw from Jack Connolly in the first half to the distance he's able to get there now, and the pressure they can now put on. So it's a great attacking opportunity for this Gonzaga backline if they can get that scrum up front.
You can see from the tricolour the wind and how strong it is and the effect that it's having. Gonzaga now go down that blind side, little dink over the top from Hennessy, but it didn't work out. And a good turnover there by Michaels. Looking forward now by Finley.
Green, off your feet! Off your feet!
And Michaels are going to have to mirror
advantage.
what Gonzaga did in that first half and work their way out of their own territory. Tried the dink over the top. It's taken well by O'Hoshin, but a penalty was already being played. The advantage there by referee McNeese. So he's been consistent. Players coming in off their feet and sealing off that ball from Gonzaga, not allowing Michaels to play it. So Chris Cosgrave will get an opportunity now to make some valuable ground.
Just be certain that your
doesn't try to take too much out of it into that win, and brings play to just over the halfway line. You see it here again. Players coming in, just not in that strong body position. You've got to have your hips lower than your shoulders and be supporting your own body weight. It's a scrappy lineup, but they've managed to tidy it up. Will Hickey now goes forward.
Hands out.
It's tackled well by Coolican. Oh, that's a nice little wrap around. Kenny, good step back inside. Brilliant pass from him to Smith. Scramble defense works well from Gonzaga. O'Brien goes in at scrum half. Harold ships it on, and now Hernan puts it outside. Big hit there from Lee Barron. The hooker drops the shoulder. On goes Jack Boyle, looking for his third. Presents the ball well. Yunan goes in there with Hickey in support. The pick and drive is on for Michaels. Finley has hands on. He looks to make more ground again. The defense comes in. So close now, Michaels.
Hands away, Green.
Just inches from that line. Yunan tries to find a way. He's shut down quickly.
Back foot 7.
But Michaels still have it.
On the back foot now.
Backs are all lining up on that right-hand side, but the forwards keeping it in tight.
6, get back.
You can see
6.
Cosgrave in the background,
Short.
trying to find some space
Hands out, Green.
as the Gonzaga defenders have to come in. Hernan lines up. Gilson talks to his forwards. Big drive again. It's over the line. Referee is right there. Has it been held up though? It has.
Held up.
And McNeese is right there
Held up.
to see Jack Boyle being held up as he was going for his hat trick. I'm sure his eyes were lighting up as he went, but look again, you can just see Ronan Shaw getting in there.
Time off, please, Brian.
Referee in a perfect position.
So you've
So
no clear
difficult
grounding.
at schools
I've no clear
level.
grounding. Okay. Ken, I'm just going to come up just
They
to
have
check.
assistance. But he is going upstairs.
So we've no clear grounding, so our on-field
They don't
decision
have
is
this
held up over the
in
line.
all
and a
of the
5-meter
schools
scrum,
games, but
unless
in
you
the
tell us
final
otherwise.
they are going to go back upstairs for TMO Ken Henley Willis to have a look at. This is the best angle here. But we can't see, it's difficult to see the ball touching the ground anywhere from that, James.
Yeah, it's very hard to see, so I don't know how the referee is going to make a call on that if it's not clear and obvious. But you can see the hunger from Jack Boyle to get there. He can sniff himself a hat trick, and he's really going for it there.
They're all the angles, okay. So are you seeing anything different to what we had on
angles.
field?
Showing any other picture.
Okay, all right.
I imagine it will be held up. And McNeese was there.
Held up.
He's going with his own on-field decision. Good refereeing there.
Okay, time on, please, Brian.
Was right to check it when he had the facility to do so. But he had made the correct decision initially himself anyway. But nevertheless, St. Michael's still with a great opportunity on the 5-meter line of Gonzaga. And how dearly they would love to score
Crouch.
and strike first in this second half.
Bind. Set.
Big scrum for Gonzaga. Pressure comes on. Ball is there. Hickey sets. Leaves it to Gilson. Oh, good step back inside from O'Brien. Tries to find a gap. Gilson now puts it out wide. Hickey. Ginan now with the blue scrum cap. And a pick and drive.
Hands up, Green, let it go.
And Gonzaga have to do it all over again. Defend that line. Will Hickey picks and drives, assisted by John Fish.
Back. Four, back.
You can see Jack Barry The number 8 coming in. Oh, there's a big drive coming in. Just short of the line. Ball still available. You can see the ball. They're over the line. Has he got it down? Yes.
It's down.
Referee Brian McNeese right on the spot. And you can see the pick and drive coming in. Watch it here again. Big work there coming in. It's just held up short initially, but the second surge comes.
Thanks, Ken.
And it's that man, Lee Barron, credited with the score, the hooker.
But you can see, Reg, from earlier on that it's the man again, Jack Boyle, who's making the yards. It's taken 3 or 4 to put him down, but even more so you can see with the way Michaels have just tightened it up, making these Gonzaga boys put bodies on the line, and it's just a bit more now. Gonzaga just need to get down here. No need to panic as well. It's early doors in this second half. Just put the pressure and squeeze back on.
Okay, good.
Conversion added 21 points to 5 now for St. Michael's. And that's a blow for Gonzaga. They would have wanted to get themselves on the board first in this second half.
Okay, Blue, use it now.
And we'll have to see how they respond to that as the wind holds up this box kick. It's batted back by John Fish. It's a dangerous one. Tidied up well though.
Green, 4 out. Good.
Michaels trying to work their way out from here. Robert Gilson sets himself left-footed.
Okay.
Box kick. It's plenty of height on it. It's covered well though by fullback Conor Hennessy. He takes a step and tries to find a gap through. And Gonzaga need to find a way into this game quickly. Taken forward there by O'Brien.
Now he's off.
Not available. Conley goes back down the left side. Brings in substitution Luke Hammond, who makes a good
Off your feet.
5 meters, but the referee again right there to say that the clear out was illegal and off their feet. And the penalty goes the way of St. Michael's. We'll see it here again. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Just those short lines. They've tried it a couple of times. It's just a bit of youthful exuberance, I guess, from Conor Hennessy and going by and taking out the St. Michael's defender.
15,
but again,
sorry,
I think
15,
that
not 16.
Gonzaga are in a position there where they just need to kind of turn Michaels and put some pressure on him down here. They've done well to hold on to the ball. They don't need to force it. They don't need a miracle play this early in the second half. Again, turning Michaels, putting them under pressure, making it hard to exit. They know how hard it is to exit from that half. So I think they need to not get too excited that they've got ball in hand.
Gonzaga now making some changes, bringing on Arthur Henry in place of Colin Kirby O'Brien. And Henry was very impressive in that semi-final, where once again they had to battle the whole way through, and when he came on he really brought some urgency to the game. Made a big impact. He'll be looking to do the same here. Michaels, however, with possession, and another good break from them, taken forward by Simon O'Kelly. Gilson is looking for that ball, brings in the short runners. Oh, this time gets it wrong. It's tidied up by Liam Tyrrell, the vice captain. Gonzaga now keep it going, keeping that ball alive. Little floater over the top there from Harry Colbert, but that one drifting forward with the wind, and it'll be Bragg all the way back for that forward pass.
No advantage from the first knock on by Blue. Scrum green.
I think he's even going to go back for the initial knock on, which was good refereeing. A good advantage though from Gonzaga. Good play from them, you know. When they did turn him over, nice little half break, nice keeping the ball alive, good continuity with it. And then you can see what Harry Colbert's trying to do. There's a bit of space there on the outside off a fractured defence, just slightly forward, just that wind behind them. If we just held 1 or 2 more steps, they actually finished it quite well, but unfortunately pulled all the way back.
Yeah. It was just the wind dragging it forward. I don't think it was forward when it left his hands. I think he passed it backwards. The hands were facing in that direction, but the wind just got a hold of it and dragged it forward. So they go all the way back for the initial knock on. And once again, Gonzaga with a chance to launch an attack. And still plenty of time left in this, James. No need to panic from a Gonzaga point of view.
No, certainly not. Absolutely not. No, just got to hold on to possession and try and get the next score. And they're right in this.
Good play from them again, bringing Frank O'Grady in on that short line. Colbert trying to hit Hennessy. Tom Cullen getting more involved in this game now. Good run again. Captain Barry. In comes the vice-captain, Tyrrell, who's had a strong game too, but he's well tackled, well marshalled. Cosgrave almost ripping that ball out of his hands. Taken forward now by Coolican. Michael's defence standing firm, counter-rucking well. Colbert using those big runners, trying to bring in those defenders.
Backwards.
Again it goes not to hand, but backwards on this occasion. Counter ruck comes in from Michaels, and they've won that one. They've turned it over, and a Gonzaga player in an offside position playing it on the ground. Advantage here to St. Michael's. They have the penalty, but they also have a chance to go, and they try it. Cosgrave again, tackled well by Colbert, throws it out the back door. It's picked up by O'Brien, but the referee go back all the way for that advantage that was being played, and the penalty for the Gonzaga player being in an offside position and playing the ball.
Great counter up from Michaels. Good patience in the defensive line. You can see that Gonzaga don't actually quite get enough numbers. You're leaving one guy against a couple of forwards, and then in frustration he's trying to throw it back just to get it back on side without the referee actually seeing it. But look, Michaels will be happy enough with how the second half has gone, and look, a couple of errors, couple of penalties creeping in now to the Gonzaga side, but as you said yourself, Reggie, there's still plenty of time left.
Yeah, so Michaels getting into the huddle, regrouping. Captain Mark Hernan just reminding his players that the defence needs to stand firm. They know Gonzaga will not give up in this game. They'll keep going right to the very end, and they are a dangerous side.
So discipline at the breakdown has been excellent in the second half so far.
Foot off the pedal in any way. They'll come back into this game and pressurise you.
I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far. Just keep that standard up.
Michaels will want to stay focused, keep that defensive line organised.
Okay, hang on. Is everybody gone? Okay. Time on, Brian.
Again,
holding on 8.
Put this one to touch for the line-out. Well, that's a good kick into the wind. Brings play to 10 metres outside the 22.
Yeah, it's a very good kick into that wind, you know, and I'd expect a nice takedown and drive from the Michaels pack and just get a bit more go forward, put that pressure right back on Gonzaga.
Barron now with the throw. He goes towards the back. It's touched by Woods and put back on the Michaels side and tidied up well by Fionn Finlay. Trying to score a Boyle going forward. Wilson to Gannon. Good work by him. Takes another metre or two. Ball is available there. Carroll ships it out, and again a little bit scrappy. Picked up well there by Carl Morgan. And a good step back inside from Tyrrell. Gonzaga now. They've been playing a little bit too much in their own half. They're going to try and set a box kick up and put pressure on Michaels. They do. Not quite getting a hold of that, but if it bounces, it could be awkward. And that one just about dealt with by Robert Gilsonen.
Fine, that's okay.
Counter-rucking coming in from Gonzaga, but it's set up well. Smith acts as scrum half. Kernan bridges that one, sets things up again. Gilsonen going out to Jack Boyle. He's worked hard all day, the loose head prop for St. Michael's. Up goes the box kick again from Gilsonen. In comes the cover. This time it's Jack Barry who takes it well and sets it up. It's there and it's available. Counter-rucking coming in from St. Michael's. Connolly moves it out towards Tom Cullen. Finding it hard to break down this Michael's defence. Colbert with a little step, but he runs into the big man.
Tackle made, release now.
Jack Boyle is holding him up. He's told to let go by the referee though. Connolly moves it out. With his show and go there coming from Hugo Fitzgerald. Tyrrell, bounces off that first tackle. Big hit coming in from Fish, but he just couldn't get his arms wrapped around his opposite man. Connolly back to Cullen again. Still going forward. Tackles coming in. Well from St. Michael's.
6 tackle round.
I think he tries to rip that one as they go through. Connolly. Good short line ball. Great offload coming through. Pass on the right, just knocked down, but a pickup on the run from Hennessy. What a pickup that was. He gets it out to Barron. Has he made it? Gilson seems to have gotten somehow underneath that ball.
Hang on.
Unbelievable defence coming in there from Robert Gilson, and to somehow get himself between the ball and the try line. Watch it again here, James.
That short line is superb. The offload, even better. And you think that the ball's gone to floor, but great pickup from Hennessy, who's looked great all day. And then I don't know how he's done that. I don't know how Gilson's actually stayed under him. It's a tremendous effort to hold him up from there. That's exactly what Gonzaga would have needed right there.
Oh, that's incredible defence coming in from Robert Gilson, and who has been outstanding throughout the entire campaign for St. Michael's. But an undoubted try-scoring tackle coming in. Everything. Gonzaga, what a pickup that was from Hennessy, and he floats it over the top, does the right thing. Barron looks like he's there, and Gilson comes in, wraps him up in a bear hug, and just refuses. He's almost like a limpet, clings on and refuses to let go, and keeps himself between the ball and the turf. And heartbreak for Gonzaga.
Yes, it was the perfect technique to stayed up, stayed nice and strong, stayed square, and just grabbed on and held on and wasn't letting go. Normally you wouldn't expect that further out in the field, but over your own line, concede the yards and just hold them up, whatever it takes.
It takes incredible strength as well, James, as you know, to do that. I mean, a man with momentum on their side and going forward at speed to actually make that tackle number one, but to be able to hold on and squeeze so tightly at that pace and prevent the try. Incredible strength from the scrum half.
Yeah, it certainly is. Highly impressive, and as you say, to be able to normally expect in 1 or 2 seconds he might slip off or might get a touchdown, but not. But look, Gonzaga look positively at it. They still have the scrum here in the 5 and still in a great attacking opportunity for them.
Michaels, Lee Barron going off.
Okay.
There.
You need your feet closer here. Yeah, please. Okay, you need to stay long.
Fresh legs in that front row for St. Michael's.
Okay. Yeah. It's you okay staying on that side? You're same mark. Exact same mark. You're on it. You're right on it. Crouch.
Huge moment here for Gonzaga.
Bind.
Have to try and get themselves on the scoreboard from this passage of play. Big scrum from Michaels, but it's out at the back. Barry picks it and goes. Looks for the support of the rest of his forwards. Connolly now puts a good ball out to Arthur Henry, who was so impressive when he came on in that semi-final. Hugo Fitzgerald tries to pick and go, but the Michaels defence comes in.
That's okay.
It's still there for Gonzaga, however. Pick and drive around the left.
Back foot.
Bodies coming in everywhere to make the hits for St. Michael's.
On the back foot, 5.
Hooligan flicks it out to find that extra little bit of space on the outside for Tyrrell. Again, Hugo Fitzgerald not making any ground here though. Jack Barry tackled by Mark Hernan. Captain on captain. Oh, big drive coming in, but look at the hit coming in from the tight head Fionn Finlay to drive Hooligan back.
Away, Blue.
Gonzaga desperately probing, trying to find any chink in that Michaels armour.
Tackle made, release Blue.
But they stand firm so far. Again, Fitzgerald goes. Finlay with the tackle. They go left and right and left again.
Yeah, back foot, that's your fine, you're good there.
Tired legs now trying to find that gap. Gonzaga back line, all stacking up on the left-hand side. They need to try and move it away from that point of contact. It's a good twist, it's a good turn. Has he made it? Have Michaels somehow managed to defend this one again?
5 minutes.
It seems they have.
That is a hell of a defensive effort from the Michaels boys. You know, how many phases they've had, countless phases, and just pushed them back. And again, the referee in perfect position there just to have a look to see where if it's held up or not.
And Arthur Henry, so impressive in the semi-final when he came on, involved again there. He picked left, managed to twist his body and looked like he'd made it. Impossible to see who got in there. I think Ben Victory was one of the players who managed to get his body between it. I think there was backs involved like Eddie Kelly.
So that's
There was at least 2 or 3 players
exactly where I want to keep it like that.
who threw their bodies on the line and dived underneath Henry as he reached for the wall, for the line.
Yeah, but Gonzaga Reds are still here, you know, and this is another great opportunity. We'd love to come away with points. Been down here now, and I think they need to get away with points. Just gotta, some of the backs maybe need to step up and help out with some of the carrying for some of the forwards. Great movement. There are numbers as well. A couple of times they've had it wide because the Michaels pack have been defending so hard and defended so tight.
Yep.
So
they are still here, but the time is ticking away. They need to make an impact on that scoreboard and get some return for all of this pressure that they've had in this area in the second half. I'm impressed with Brian McNeese today. His positioning on all of those pick and drives has been excellent. Right on hand to make the decision. Communicating brilliantly with the players throughout the game as well. And I said it already.
Time on, please, Brian.
Throughout this campaign, the standard of refereeing at these schools matches has been very impressive.
Crouch. Bind.
Now, Gonzaga
Set.
through Conley.
Hold the push now,
They're
Blue.
going backwards in that scrum again. Conley goes left and throws the dummy while Barry goes right but gets tackled. Shaw comes in, drops the shoulder,
Hands up, Blue.
tries to drive his legs through, but that blue wall meets him. There goes Arthur Henry again, but he's tackled, driven backwards by the Michaels defenders. Drive again coming in. They need speed in these pick and drives, and that's a good pick and go from Fitzgerald, but again a counter rooking coming in, and St. Michael's may have turned it over, but Luke Hammond managed to just pick it up again. Conley now gets it outside towards Coolican. Oh, that pass just in front of Fergus O'Hoshian as they tried to change the point of attack, tried to bring in the backs, having hammered so many times around the side with the pick and go and getting no return. They tried to just move it out wider. Not a bad idea, but this pass just in front of O'Hoshian, and he wasn't able to take it, and it hands the initiative back to Michaels.
Yeah, and I think it's just that wind as well. It was a flat pass. It's probably the right pass as well, but it's just so flat and on the gain line that the wind got behind it. But you can see the energy that it's given the Michaels boys. It's a big G up for them that they've actually defended them and kept them out for so long. And Gonzaga just can't get bored of doing that, doing the basics and doing the simple things. And just because they're not getting anywhere, they have to keep going, and they'll eventually break through. But they've got, like, Michaels are so strong in there, and the pick and go is suiting the Michaels boys.
You mentioned how the wind can be a disadvantage at times, and we've seen a couple of occasions where it has. Michaels now through Will Hickey, getting it out, Yunan, out to Kelly. Oh, he's fast, great step from Kelly. Is he gone? Gets a scraggle on the jersey, passes it back inside to Gilson, and what a try from inside their own 22. A breakout from St. Michael's. Fantastic, the pace of Kelly to find a way through. and the presence of mind to offload back inside to Robert Gilsonen, who was there in support and finished it off, having saved a try down one end, finishes it off down the other. And look at this, James, what a break from inside their own 22.
What a superb score, and what a simple game rugby is when it's played like this. Just simple carries, simple hands, forwards and backs combining, but then you've got Eddie Kelly who makes a break, pushes him, great handoff, and then you've got, look, from him making this try-saving tackle at one end to scoring at the other end. Superb finish from Rob Gilsonen.
A fantastic piece of skill as well in the build-up to that from Andrew Smith, with a little out-the-back door flick to release Eddie Kelly. When it looked like he may have been tackled, he refused to go to ground. Smith kept the ball alive, knew what pace he had on his right shoulder in Kelly, gave him the ball, and he did the rest. And into the wind that has troubled so much today. Chris Cosgrave finds a way to carve the posts and add the 2 points and add the killer blow maybe to Gonzaga.
Yeah, that's a great conversion into that strong wind. It's going to be an interesting game plan now from Gonzaga. They're going to have to really increase that tempo, and Michael's knowing exactly what to do playing into that wind, and you can see the brimming and confidence that they've really gotten from that score.
And the Michael scores have come at such crucial times. In the first half, they were held to 7 points for the first 20 or so, and on 22 minutes they managed to get their second, just to give them that little bit more of an edge in front.
Four.
And again, they struck first after the second half when it mattered. But Gonzaga still going strong, still trying to find a way through. Jack Coolican carries.
It's on his feet. Not now.
Connolly brings those forwards in again. Ronan Shaw. Now Tom Cullen steps back inside.
Hands up!
Defense again. Look at John Fish trying to get on that ball. Connolly puts it out to Luke Hammond. Get on that blind side. That pass, not the best. Tidied up well by Coolican. Oh, great step back inside by Shaw, the tight head. Presents it brilliantly. Connolly goes down left. Colbert gives it to his captain, Barry. Connolly now to the vice-captain, Tyrrell, but what a tackle. Look at that. Victory and power both coming in and double teaming the Gonzaga man. Again, John Fish picking up his opposite.
Over.
Tom Cullen, in fact, and trying to drag him backwards. Arthur Henry now. Good go forward from him. Explosive player when he comes on from that bench. Being played, it's legal, says the referee. He was on his feet, and it's turned over by Michaels. And they'll look to play it out again, and will they look to go from inside their 22?
He's making an effort. Good.
Forwards get organised. Good hands again coming through from Carroll, releasing Smith, who's still going forward. Great play from the fullback. Loose head, Jack Boyle.
Hands away, Green now.
Dunks away that first challenge.
Five go, good.
Victory now, standing outside in that centre position. Brings Ginan into it. Lost that scrum cap. And there's been a little knock on. The referee will call it back. And a few players now, bodies down left and right. There's been no shortage of effort, certainly, throughout this entire match, James.
No, certainly not. And you can see them, like as you say, there's bodies strewn all over the field out there. There's a couple of guys taking knees all hunched over. The effort they put in, as you say, on both sides has been there, defensively and offensively. But the way Michaels have played the second half into the wind has been exemplary, you know. Just simple things, simple balls. And as we were looking at the try here, what an in and out from Eddie Kelly. and a great finish, as you say, from Rob Gilson, who was that person who held up Gonzaga over the line and in support. That work rate that you want from your 9 who's there, and great support lines.
Okay, what number's coming off? 14, blue, 14. 14.
A long line of Gilsons
14.
who have played the game at the highest level. The running repairs seem to have been made. Eddie Kelly for Michaels making way now.
No, my mark is here.
Owen Bandan Acker coming on
Okay,
to
time
get
on,
his
please.
run in the cup final.
Scrum play.
And what an occasion it is for these young players. The Michaels fans now really getting behind their team.
Set.
Somewhat subdued down the Gonzaga end, but they can be very proud of how their team have performed so far. They're trying to get down that channel. Connolly puts an excellent little probing grubber kick in behind to
Next
pin
scrum, I need
Michaels
it rock
back,
solid steady.
try and find some
Next
way
scrum, yeah.
back into this
Okay,
game.
that's the first time it's
Put
happened.
pressure on St. Michael's.
Green. Hop, hop, yeah, line out's over now. 4, leave it alone, you're on the, yeah, that's good.
Huge credit to Gonzaga, still making those tackles, still flying forward, trying to pin Michaels back.
Good.
Gilson gets it out to Fish, to Carroll. Bringing in O'Kelly.
Back foot, move.
Good game management here from St. Michael's as they play this clock down. Fish going in again. Taken forward by the loose head, Jack Boyle. What a game he's had. Stepping back inside. Cosgrave. Gilson gives it to Hickey. And uses the man outside him to try and create that extra bit of width. Now they're going to go wide, Michaels. They have a chance. It's still there. Oh, that time the pass to Smith just a little bit too firm. He wasn't able to deal with it. Dances on that touchline, manages somehow to stay in play. James Power now takes it forward for Michaels. Again, the Gonzaga defenders come in. Arthur Henry making tackles.
Play on, it's fine.
Cullen never giving up. Gilson with the box kick. It almost comes back to meet him where he kicked it from. Not dealt with by Gonzaga.
Blue have it.
Tidied up well though by Ben Victory on that occasion. Gilson now pushes it back outside. In goes the tackle from Arthur Henry on John Fish.
Green, let go.
Keeps it alive though. Michael's line up on this left-hand side. Carroll gets it out along the line. Good offload there to Andrew Smith. In come the forwards again to the loose head, Jack Boyle.
That's okay, just let him go. Don't put it into him.
Really had to add a 0 to that one on his back. He's been out in that out half position so much. Oh, that one just getting knocked forward.
First knock
Double
on
knock
Green.
on.
Then
There's
blue.
a call from Brian McNeese.
First knock on Green.
And you can see the confidence in the Michaels players now, James. Everybody looking to get their hands on the ball. Everybody looking to get
Time
involved.
off, Brian, please.
Yeah, exactly, and they're looking to run it and spread it and get it to the extremities and have a go. And even the offload,
also
and
got
they're
five
nearly
players on
slipping
there
into
as well.
touch out the back door. And when you have your when you have Noah Carroll having the attempt to kick, just a little crossfielders. Look, as you say, everyone wants to go forward. Everyone wants a little touch, and they're really brimming with that confidence now that they've shown. You know, they've put in a tremendous effort to get into this position, and they've been tactically smart in how they've done it.
Yeah.
Running repairs for the Michaels players. Everybody getting an opportunity to get a run. at this stage.
Knock on by Green.
And Michael's bringing in some replacements. Gives them an opportunity to be involved in this cup final. Michael's with the scrum.
Set.
Robert Gilson.
Up again. The steady post set. Leave it. I'll do
It's
this.
getting a little bit scrappy as we approach the end of this game.
Okay. That's a mark there. Okay. All right.
Been a hugely entertaining cup final though,
Don't
James.
chase this.
The
Yeah, you
scoreline
take the
might
hit here. Yeah.
tell you or
Let's go.
hint otherwise,
Steady
but that
post
hasn't
set.
been the case. Gonzaga have certainly made this a very entertaining affair.
Yeah, they've certainly played their part in a great final, and look, it's one or two scores that have just kind of put that extra bit of gloss on the scoreline for Michaels, but it certainly hasn't been that way. It's been a real chess game out there, and hopefully they can maybe get something else on the board again. But they can do themselves proud of what they've done so far.
Johan van der Akker there, who has come onto the pitch, getting his chance to go forward.
Use the blow.
Again, Michael's just setting things up. Gilson puts boot to ball again. It's Conley goes up to try and tie that one, but knocks it forward, hands the ball back to Michaels. They'll gladly accept that. The ball is there.
Okay, so the original turnover was good there,
Carried.
but no advantage from the first
Knocked
knockdown.
on. Carried in, but knocked on initially by Gonzaga.
Okay. 12-9.
Michaels
12-9-1.
getting a great chance
Up
here
grade 9. Well done, Luton.
to finish this game
Two
out
green,
as Jeffrey Woods comes
5
on
green.
for Robert Gilson. He gets a big hug from that man who has been outstanding and put the icing on the cake with that score. 2 try scorers there. Double try scorer Jack Boyle and Robert Gilson going off, having played their part in this final, as Michaels empty the bench and give everybody their opportunity to be a part of this great day.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jeffrey Woods now. The dink over the top coming through, and it's been chased by Cosgrave. He can't get it though. It's tidied up by Conor Hennessy. We're heading in to the last minute of this game. Gonzaga still trying till the end to try and get a way through and get a score. Good play, but a great offload. Just spilled forward on that occasion. Tidied up well by Michaels. And they'll have possession as we come to the end of this game. Booth goes in.
Away green. Good.
Oh, Carroll just spills that one forward.
Okay.
Pass.
No advantage from the
A
first
little bit
one.
low down around his ankles from Woods. But we go back for the initial knock on. So it'll be a Michaels put in.
No advantage.
And you can see the Gonzaga guys just haven't stopped working hard, haven't stopped trying out there, you know. They're trying to make things happen, and it can be quite frustrating when the ball's kind of slipping and you're running out of time. But everything they've done today, they put body on the line. It's not going to be much of a consolation for them now, but to get to the school's first ever final is an absolute credit to them. And look, it might be in a couple of years that they think about it, but they're credit to themselves and the effort they put in.
And certainly it'll be an inspiration for the teams that are coming below them, the younger players in the school, seeing their fellow pupils make it to this final and knowing that that's a possibility. And quite often you have to get to these finals and experience the pain of defeat to find ways to get victory, so they can be very proud of the achievement they've done to get to this final, although they'll be disappointed that they haven't quite gotten over the final hurdle.
Bind.
As the clock goes into the red, and Jeffrey Woods gets this ball into the scrum to restart it. It's taken forward now by Mark O'Brien. The tackles come in. Gunan goes forward.
Away green. Good.
Everybody wanting to get involved. Big break there from Boland. So that one's just gone into touch. And that's it. Referee Brian McNeese blows the whistle and brings this 2019 Leinster Senior Cup final to an end. The joy everywhere on the faces of those Michaels players as the double try scorer Jack Boyle comes in, grabs his back rope, marks Jack Gannan. Michaels players everywhere congratulating each other. And Gonzaga lining up, having put in a huge performance today and being a massive part of what was such an incredible final. And they'll be disappointed, James, but as we said, they can feel very, very proud with the performance that they put in today.
Yeah, they will be disappointed, absolutely, but they played their part now in a hugely entertaining final. As you say, they'll be a little bit upset now, but I think what they've done for the school and what they've done here today, they can certainly be so proud. You got to give congratulations to Michaels on how they played. Extremely professional how they went about it, playing the conditions, playing into that wind and playing with the wind behind, and showed how you can play in a final.
And the quality of play also, James. I mean, you've got to say there were some errors affected by wind and conditions, but for the most part the skill levels were through the roof.
Yeah, exactly, and I think you go out there and it's easy for us to talk about here, but we can actually see the endeavour and skill level that the guys are doing, and the work they've put on during the year, and hopefully now you can see the fruits of their awards from it, you know. And look, they're young guys and they're only in the start of their journeys now, and I'm sure we'll see a few of these players from both sides.
Okay, well, the winning coach Emmett McMahon is with Colin.
Emmett, congratulations. Can you sum up how you feel right now?
No, it's very difficult to put it to words how important that is for the school, for the lads. Just over the moon. The lads were outstanding all day. Gonzaga really took it to them. We knew they would, and just so happy for them, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's been a tough cup journey. It's been, you know, these lads have been, they've been on a mission all year. Like, it's been an unbelievable effort from as soon as we got going. These lads were they were on it all year, and they were absolutely outstanding once again today. So they deserve everything they get. They were unbelievable. I thought Gonzaga were very good, and I just thought, just hard to put into words how happy I am, to be honest.
And some of your play today was incredible. Some great defence there at times, and some excellent tries as well. Yeah,
I thought our defence, like, they were going quite hard at us in around the ruck, and we were kind of not getting to in the tackle, which we'd hoped to. We did that very well against Rock, and we didn't do it great today. It was kind of giving them entry into our 22. But apart from that, our overall attack I thought was pretty good. I thought the last score at the end was unbelievable, but ultimately I would never say we were comfortable until maybe Rob got his try at the end. That's how close I kind of feel that can go, but just amazing.
Congratulations, go enjoy the celebrations.
Now we have, you can see what that meant, a tough campaign right the way through for Emmett McMahon, for him and his players. And now we have a chance to talk to the winning captain, Mark Hernan.
Mark, congratulations, you must be delighted.
Yeah, obviously we worked very hard for not only the last year, but there's a lot of people kind of in the stands and not even in the country that have put so much hard work into the Michael system. And I just think it's massive that we're finally reaping the rewards, getting our hand on the cup in 6 years. So we're just delighted. Coaching staff, the players, everyone, we're just absolutely delighted.
And how proud are you of your teammates as well?
Yeah, it's incredible. In fairness, there's 23 lads out there that were lucky enough to be picked, and there's another 25 lads up there that are good enough probably to be picked, but unfortunately it's the nature of the game. You can have 23, 25 lads in the squad. But yeah, we showed immense character, kind of just keep the ball, building phases. And yeah, grind out the win. We're just absolutely delighted.
And during the week, did you allow yourself to think about maybe putting your hands on that trophy?
Well, we have one of our mental coaches was in. He was kind of like, just stick to the process. Don't get too worked up about other things like getting your hands on the trophy, the events that are going on after. You're just like, just stick to the process, your job, what's important next, all that.
Well, you've completed the process, so go and enjoy the day.
Thank you very much. Cheers, appreciate it.
And what a performance it was, and a final score of 28 points to 5 for St. Michael's. It's time for a quick break now, but stay tuned because the trophy presentation is coming right up. Yes, and welcome back. There it is. This is what all of the schools in Leinster have been competing so hard all season for, to try and get their hands on, and the smiles all round amongst the Michael coaching staff. And you know, James, we have to say it's been a tough journey for Michaels. They had to take care of Blackrock, they had to take care of Belvedere, and they had to take care of a very strong, of course, Kilkenny earlier on, but they also had to take care of a very strong Gonzaga team here today, and you'd have to say deserved winners.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they had a couple of trips there in the last couple of games. You know, they did well to get through past Belvedere. They physically imposed against Blackrock, and they had a quick turnaround before the Belvedere game as well. But to come out and produce some of that rugby there today was certainly superb, and they're hugely deserved winners today.
Here's Morgan Balfe now. Leinster with a few words.
President of Leinster Rugby, to welcome you all here today to the RDS and the final of the Bank of Ireland Leinster Schools Cup. And what a competition it was this year, and what a game we've had today between two fine sides. Congratulations to Gonzaga College and to St. Michael's College. On behalf of Leinster Rugby, I'd like to thank all the schools who have taken part in this year's competition, to the principals, the games masters, the teachers, the coaches. I'd also like to thank the schools committee and all those in Leinster Rugby who run this fine competition. In particular, I'd also like to thank the Bank of Ireland, our title sponsors, and all the supporters, parents and families of all the students here today. Well done to you all. Officials today throughout this competition from the Association of Referees and Mr. Welch. Without them, we could not have this competition. So I'd like to call on the team today to come forward so I can congratulate them. Our referee, Brian McNeese, the sub-referee, Paul Haycock, structure David Cole, John Flynn and James Fagan, and our TMO, Kevin Lewis. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much.
And a good job done by those officials today. Morgan Balfe.
Attention, please, as we make the presentations to both teams. If you have your undivided attention, that would be very much respected and appreciated. Thank you very much.
Bob Kenway introducing.
Suzanne Barry now to present the medals to our runners up, and let's give them a very warm round of applause. Gonzaga!
Bob Conway introducing Suzanne Barry, the mother of the losing captain Jack Barry. Disappointment, of course, for them, but she will present the runners-up medals. As is tradition, both mothers being presented with bouquets of flowers.
1, Henry Johnson. 2, Will Fitzgerald. 3, Roland Shaw.
These medals being called out for the Gonzaga team, the gallant runners-up today.
6, Colin Kirby-O'Ryan. 7, Tom Cullen. Your captain number 8, Jack Barry.
It'll mean little to them today, but in years to come, those medals will be appreciated.
Yeah, they certainly will be appreciated, but look, I think it's where their mindset is at the moment, you know. It's just they're just trying to take it in, and to go up and queue and get a runners-up medal isn't the highlight of their list for today.
It's difficult, there's no doubt about it, it's difficult, but as I said, in years to come, when they look back and they'll see how big an achievement this was, and to be a part of history, to be the first team from their school to ever make it to the final of the Leinster Senior Schools Cup.
They'll always be those flag bearers, yeah. You know, like it's gonna, like, as you say, it's not going to be now. It's not, mightn't be in a couple of years. It's when they're well out of school, when they've finished college, or even down the line. You know, they'll always be remembered. No one can take that away from them. That they're the first school to break that. Wouldn't even say tradition, but just to break that mold of getting to that first final.
Yep. And put another school on the map in terms of this competition. Godson making his way to the podium. Disappointing to see him on crutches, picking up an injury in that game. A bright future ahead of him as well.
There's a bright future ahead for a lot of those players. You know, everything they've done, this is just the start of some of their boys' career in the future, and it's a kick on, it's a stepping stone into what they can achieve and what they can go on to do, and be it going into academies or whatever they want to do, you know. And it's the start of a journey, and to get used to playing in big games and big finals can only stand to them.
Well, on a weekend when Ireland won an under-20s Grand Slam title, no doubt we'll see some of these players representing their country and their province in the future. And now the winning captain's mother, Suzanne Hernan, will present the victorious St. Michael's team with their medals. Eddie Kelly gets a hug. Chris Cosgrave after him, has played so well throughout this entire championship. Simon O'Kelly. That's Niall Carroll getting a hug there, the out half. Robert Gilson now, who scored that last try to make sure of the job today. Lee Barron, the hooker. Phenomenal performance throughout the campaign for him as well. John Fish, the second row there, gets his medal. Jack Keenan. Will Hickey, the number 8. Now the subs. James Power. Everybody in this squad making an impact throughout the entire campaign. Lots of Leinster under 18s, 19s, and indeed Ireland representative players throughout that whole squad. St. Michael's very well representative at that level.
A young squad as well, Reggie, you know, which can be one of the frightening things. A lot of them in 5th year, so.
And here he comes, the winning captain, Mark Hernan, to receive a hug from his mother first. And indeed, get his hands on that long-awaited trophy. And what a moment this is for the young captain. What a feeling that is for those young players. The dream for every schools player, James, is to make it to the RDS on St. Patrick's Day for this final. And the ultimate dream is to lift that trophy. And what a feeling that is for those Michaels players.
Completely agree with you. You can see the smiles on their faces. You can see what it means, and like as I was talking about there just before they lifted the cup, they're such a young group as well, and a lot of them will be back next year. And you can't see it there in the TV, but in the background you can see the Gonzaga guys going over to thank their supporters who've been immense for them today.
And what a privilege it's been for us to be here and witness some incredible rugby throughout this entire campaign, as the Gonzaga players go over to their fans and thank them for all the support that they've given. And St. Michael's now do likewise and sing the school anthem to the many supporters who have come here today to enjoy this fantastic spectacle of schools rugby. Great shot there of the cup. Well, a final reminder of some of the great action you can watch for free this week in the Republic of Ireland and UK on Free Sports. Tonight from 7 there is NASCAR live from Auto Club Speedway. On Wednesday night, Aaron Murphy and Paula Day are back with some elite ice hockey. The Glasgow Clan take on the Cardiff Devils in that one. And our coverage of the Champions Cup pool continues on Thursday again at 7 p.m. on Free Sports. Well, that concludes our coverage of this year's Leinster Rugby Senior Schools Cup. My thanks to James for joining me today, and of course to you at home for watching.